Have you ever watched someone walk out of your life, knowing deep down they'd never find another person quite like you? It's a different kind of pain. It's not just a sting that fades after a while. No, this pain lingers, quietly creeping into the moments when you're alone with your thoughts. And it's not because she left. It's because she'll never admit she made a mistake. You gave her your time, your energy, maybe even your heart. But now she acts like it was nothing, like you were just another chapter she could close without a second thought. It hurts, doesn't it? The way she carries on, convinced she made the right choice, thinking she's leveled up, while feeding off the validation of others. But here's the truth, one that most men don't realize. Regret doesn't come to her right away. Her pride, her ego, they shield her from it, at least for a while. She convinces herself she's moved on, that leaving you was the right decision. Yet there always comes a moment when that illusion cracks, and when it does, regret creeps in. Here's where a lot of guys go wrong. They try to force this moment. They plead, send long messages, and seek closure, hoping to change her mind. But let me tell you, regret isn't born from words, it's born from absence. It comes when she realizes she can no longer reach you, influence you, or control how you feel. That's what shatters her ego. Not your anger, not your sadness, but your complete and total indifference. This is where Stoicism makes all the difference. True strength doesn't come from chasing after someone who left. It comes from walking away and never looking back. A woman doesn't regret losing the man who crumbles. She regrets losing the man who rises, who disappears, improves, and transforms into something far greater than she ever expected. That's the man she can never have again, and that's the man you're going to become. By the time you finish this transformation, you won't be the man she left anymore. You'll be the man she remembers, the one she'll always wonder about, the one who got away. If you're ready to take that journey, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and drop a comment below. Remember, pain is a powerful teacher. Every moment of suffering holds a lesson, if you have the discipline to learn from it. Let's get into it. Number 1. Understanding women and regret. Here's the thing. Most women won't openly admit when they've made a mistake in love. It's not because they don't feel regret. They do. But their ego and pride often get in the way. Society tells them they made the right choice, that there's always someone better around the corner, that looking back is a sign of weakness. They hear it from their friends, social media, and even their own inner voice. But the truth is, regret doesn't hit right away. It doesn't come with fanfare. It sneaks in quietly, during lonely nights, in unguarded moments, in comparisons to what they had and lost. At first, they feel validated. After a breakup, a woman often gets sympathy, support, and sometimes even new romantic options. Her friends reassure her she's better off, that she's leveling up. But that sense of empowerment is just a temporary illusion. True regret isn't born in the immediate aftermath. It's what creeps in over time when reality starts to sink in. So, how do you make her regret losing you? The answer is simple, but not easy. Don't give her any reason to think she was right about you. No begging, no chasing, no seeking closure. You can't let her believe she still has control over your emotions. Disappear, not out of revenge, but out of self-respect and discipline. When she expects you to break down and instead sees you thriving, calm, focused, and moving forward, It plants a seed of doubt in her mind. And doubt for a woman is the beginning of regret. You see, women are driven by emotions. They live in the moment, often guided by how they feel rather than rational thought. That's why your detachment is so powerful. When you stop reacting, when you become a mystery, when you no longer feed her ego with your attention, something changes. She starts to wonder. She starts to question. And that's when regret begins to take hold. She won't come out and say it. She won't send you a message admitting she made a mistake. But her actions will speak louder than words. You'll notice her checking your social media stories, hear through mutual friends that she's asking about you, or catch subtle attempts to reappear in your life. But by then, it won't matter. You will have already won. You'll have reclaimed your power, and she'll be the one stuck with what-ifs. If this resonates with you, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, silence is your greatest strength. In a world where everyone is desperate for attention and validation, the man who disappears becomes the one who holds all the power. Number 2. Why begging is the ultimate weakness. Let's get real. The moment you beg, you lose. It's that simple. Nothing kills attraction faster than desperation, but sadly, it's the mistake many men make when a woman leaves. They plead for another chance, send long emotional texts, and try to convince her she's making a mistake. But here's what they don't realize. By the time she walks away, she's already emotionally checked out. The decision was made long before the breakup, and begging only confirms to her that she was right to leave. Think about it. If you truly knew your worth, if you genuinely valued yourself, would you chase after someone who no longer wants to be with you? Would a king ever beg for someone's loyalty? Of course not. A man who understands his value doesn't need to chase. He walks away and lets others realize what they've lost in their own time. When you beg, what you're really saying is, "You were right. I can't live without you. My happiness depends on you." That kind of weakness doesn't make a woman reconsider. It makes her lose respect. Attraction isn't about logic. It's about power dynamics. And when you give her all the power by putting her on a pedestal, the game is over. Here's the secret most men never learn. The quieter you become, the more noise she hears in her own mind. She expects you to react. She expects you to chase and fight for her attention. When you don't, it disrupts her entire perception of you. The moment she realizes she's not as important to you as she thought, that's when doubt starts creeping in. Instead of chasing, you walk away. You give her nothing, no anger, no sadness, no emotional outburst, just silence. That's how you truly regain control. If she ever comes back, it won't be because you begged or persuaded her. It'll be because she convinced herself that she made a mistake. So now ask yourself, are you going to be the man who begs or the man who lets them regret their decision? If you're choosing power over weakness, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, I walk away like a king because kings don't beg, they move forward. Number 3. A Stoic's first move, emotional control. When she leaves, your gut reaction might be to lash out, to get angry, prove something, or show her what she's lost. But let me tell you, that's exactly what she's expecting. It's what most men do. It's also the quickest way to confirm her decision to walk away. Weak men react, and weak men never change a woman's mind. So, What does a Stoic man do instead? His first move is simple. He controls his emotions. Now, this doesn't mean you bottle everything up. It means mastering those feelings rather than letting them master you. A man who can't control his emotions is controlled by them. But a man who takes charge of his emotions, he takes charge of the entire situation. The moment you stop reacting, something shifts. Suddenly, she's the one wondering. She expects you to call, to text, to check up on her, or maybe even show signs of jealousy. But when you don't, it throws her off. You don't validate her decision. Instead, you make her question it. You don't fuel her ego. You starve it. This is the quiet power of emotional detachment. Women don't regret losing men who beg and grovel. They regret losing the men they can no longer affect, the men who become unshakable. At first, she may not even realize it, but over time, when she sees you calm, composed and thriving, doubt starts to creep in. She'll begin to wonder, why isn't he broken? Why does he seem so at peace? That's when regret takes root. But here's the catch. This only works if your emotional control is real. You can't fake it. If you're secretly hoping she'll come back, she'll sense it. Women are intuitive that way. This is why true Stoicism isn't just a performance. It's a way of life. You learn to let go of what you can't control. You accept that people come and go, but your self-respect is non-negotiable. When you fully embrace this mindset, you become untouchable. From now on, you respond to nothing. Not desperate texts, not emotional provocations, not attempts to manipulate you. No proving your worth to anyone. Just silence, growth, and self-improvement. Because the man who masters his emotions masters his world. If you get this, if you truly understand it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. I master my emotions because the man who controls himself can never be broken. Number 4. The hidden power of indifference. Let me tell you something. Nothing unsettles a woman more than indifference. Not anger, not sadness, and definitely not revenge. Just pure, calm, and steady indifference. When a woman leaves, she expects a reaction. She expects you to chase her, to plead, to do anything to make her feel important. In that moment, she believes she's in control. She thinks you'll fall apart without her. But the second you go completely silent, something shifts. The power dynamic flips. The moment she realizes you're truly unbothered, her ego takes a serious hit. Why does indifference work? Because it creates uncertainty. She was so confident you'd miss her that you'd crumble and fight to get her back. But when you don't react, it messes with her mind. She starts asking herself questions she wasn't prepared for. Did I make the right decision? Why isn't he chasing me? Did he even care at all? These thoughts begin to haunt her, filling the quiet moments with doubt. You see, people want what they can't have. When you remove yourself from the equation, when you make it clear you don't need her, her mind starts to reframe the entire situation. Suddenly, she doesn't feel so empowered by leaving. Instead, she feels unsettled. Over time, that feeling of unease can turn into full-blown regret. The biggest mistake men make is believing that anger is power. It's not. Anger still gives her what she wants, a reaction. It still feeds her ego because she knows she's affecting you. True power lies in indifference. When a woman realizes she no longer occupies any space in your mind, it shakes her to her core. Nothing deflates the ego like feeling invisible. So, when she checks your stories, when she reaches out just to see how you're doing, or when she drops hints to get your attention, do nothing. Don't fall for it. She isn't reaching out because she suddenly cares. She's reaching out to see if she still has control over you. The second you engage, you hand that power back to her. But what if you remain indifferent? She loses. If you understand this, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Remember, my presence is earned. A man who values himself doesn't grant access to those who walked away. Number 5. The power of rebuilding in silence. The most powerful transformation happens when no one's watching. While she's out there thinking you're stuck in the past, you're quietly building your future. While she assumes you're broken, you're becoming something far greater. And by the time she figures that out, it'll be too late. The mistake many men make after a breakup is trying too hard to prove something. They post pictures to make her jealous. They drop hints, hoping she'll notice. But here's the thing. A true Stoic doesn't need validation. He doesn't try to win her attention or approval. He simply disappears and improves. No explanations, no showy announcements, just real, undeniable results. Regret isn't instant. It doesn't hit when she first walks away. It creeps in later, when she sees you thriving, when she realizes that she was just a chapter in your story, not the entire book. But for that to happen, you need to be fully focused on you, on your evolution. You work on your mind, your body, and your purpose. The things that make you valuable, not to her, but to yourself. Because once a man is fully committed to his own growth, he becomes unstoppable. Ironically, that's also when people start to notice. The world rewards the man who moves forward without hesitation. And trust me, she's watching. Even if she never reaches out, even if she's pretending to have moved on, even if she's with someone new, she's paying attention. And nothing hits harder than the realization that she left a man who only became better after she was gone. So, stop wasting your time worrying about her. Stop wondering if she regrets it yet. Stop waiting for closure. Your success is the only closure you'll ever need. If this message speaks to you, hit the like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. I rise in silence because the strongest men don't seek revenge. They become impossible to ignore. Number 6. The inevitable return. Why she comes back. Let's get one thing straight. Women always come back. But it's not because they truly miss you. It's because they miss the control they once had over you. When you stop chasing, go silent, and start leveling up in ways she never expected, something changes in her mind. She begins to wonder. She starts comparing. She realizes that you were the best thing she had. But now, she can't reach you anymore. At first, she convinces herself she's over it. She surrounds herself with distractions, validation, attention, maybe even a new guy. But over time, reality hits. The excitement fades, and suddenly she finds herself asking, what is he doing? Does he still think about me? Here's the truth. Women crave what they can't have. They are drawn to mystery, to the challenge of uncertainty. They want that feeling of not knowing exactly where they stand with a man. And nothing creates more mystery than a man who disappears and quietly transforms himself into something greater. That's why she always comes back, right when you no longer want her. The moment she realizes she's lost her grip on you, her ego takes a hit. Suddenly, She needs to know if she can still get a reaction from you. She might send a random message, react to one of your posts, or casually ask mutual friends about you. But don't be fooled. She's not coming back because she's changed. She's coming back to test whether you have. This is where most men fail. They get excited thinking, she regrets it. She wants me back. But that's not the case. What she really wants is to see if she still has access to your emotions. And if you engage, if you fall for it, the power shifts right back to her, and the cycle starts all over again. That's why the real test isn't whether or not she returns. It's whether you even care when she does. If you understand this, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. I am the prize, because a man who knows his worth doesn't need anyone else to confirm it. Number 7. The test. When she reaches out. It's only a matter of time. One day you'll get a message. Maybe it's a simple, hey. Maybe it's a random reaction to your story. Or maybe she asks a question that doesn't really need an answer. But don't be fooled. This is a test. She's not reaching out because she suddenly realized your worth. She's not texting because she regrets leaving. She's testing to see if she still has access to you, if she still has the power to affect your emotions, if you're still the same man she left behind. And this is where most men fail. They get excited thinking, this is it. She wants me back. They respond right away, engage in conversation, and maybe even try to rekindle something. And the second they do, she wins. She gets the validation she was looking for. Her curiosity is satisfied, and just like that, she loses interest again. But a man who has truly leveled up, he doesn't take the bait. He doesn't entertain breadcrumbs. He doesn't let someone who walked away waltz back in like nothing happened, because he understands that real power lies in indifference. So, what do you do when she reaches out? Nothing. You ignore it. Because a woman who truly regrets losing you won't send some half-hearted, meaningless text. She'll make it known that she wants another chance. And even then, it's not about what she says. It's about who you've become in her absence. If you do choose to respond, it must come from a place of complete detachment. Keep it short. Be polite. Stay unbothered. No emotion, no excitement, no effort. She must feel the shift. She must see that you are no longer the man she left, but a man she can no longer reach. That's how you pass the test. That's how you win. If you understand this, hit the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. I do not chase, I attract. Because the man who knows his worth never lowers it for anyone. Number 8. Beyond her, becoming the unshakable man. By this point, the real question isn't whether she regrets leaving. It's whether you even care anymore. The biggest mistake most men make, they stop growing the moment they get her attention again. They think, she's back, I won. But here's the truth. Real power has nothing to do with making her regret losing you. Real power comes from focusing entirely on your own path, to the point where her regret doesn't even matter. A Stoic man doesn't live for the approval of others. He doesn't measure his value by a woman's perception of him. He understands that relationships, emotions, even people, are temporary, but his purpose, his discipline, his self-respect, those last forever. So ask yourself, is she the reason you're improving? Or are you improving because this is simply who you are now? Because if you're only leveling up to get her attention, then she still controls you. True strength comes when your transformation has nothing to do with her, but everything to do with you. A man who reaches this level doesn't need closure. He doesn't need validation. He doesn't need to prove anything to anyone, because deep down he knows he was always the prize. And when a woman sees that, when she realizes you've become a man who is completely unshaken by her absence, that's when she truly understands what she lost. But by then, it won't matter, because you've already moved on. If this resonates with you, hit the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. I am unshakable, because the man who masters himself can never be controlled by anyone else. Number 9. The final lesson. She'll never admit it, but she feels it. She will never tell you she regrets it. She will never openly admit she made a mistake, but deep down, she feels it. Women are masters at protecting their ego. Even if she realizes she lost a rare man, she won't give you the satisfaction of knowing it. Instead, she'll act like she's fine, like she's moved on, like she never even thinks about you. But here's the truth. Her actions will tell you everything. The way she suddenly checks your stories, the way she conveniently crosses paths with you, the way she reacts when she sees you thriving without her. Regret doesn't always come in words. It shows up in silence, in hesitation, in the forced indifference she tries so hard to maintain. And the greatest revenge? Not needing to hear it, because by now you're no longer the man she left behind. You don't seek validation from people who walked away. You don't wait for closure, for explanations, or for proof that she still cares. You don't need it, because the real victory isn't in making her regret losing you. It's in reaching a point where her regret means absolutely nothing to you. And that is what truly destroys her ego. She'll never admit it, but she'll feel it. And by the time she does, you'll have already moved on to something greater. If this message resonates with you, hit the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. I have already won, because the man who walks away without looking back is the man who always comes out on top. Right now, you stand at a crossroads. You can either stay trapped in the past, replaying old memories, waiting for her to return, or you can step forward, fully aware that you were always the prize. Because the truth is, this was never really about her. It was always about you, your discipline, your emotional strength, your growth into a man who stands firm in the face of loss. A man who doesn't crave validation, who doesn't crumble under pressure, who doesn't waste energy chasing after those who chose to leave. Real power isn't about making her regret walking away. Real power is becoming so focused, so complete, so unstoppable that her regret doesn't even matter anymore. And when you reach that level, life opens doors you never saw before. New opportunities, new relationships, new levels of success. Everything you were meant to have was always waiting for you. It just required you to let go of what was holding you back. If you've made it this far, it means you're ready to rise above the pain, ready to become the kind of man who commands respect instead of chasing it, the kind of man who walks away like a king, knowing his worth. So if you're committed to this path, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the wisdom that sets you apart. And drop a comment below. I never look back, because the man who moves forward never loses. He only becomes greater. Until next time, stay strong, stay sharp, and keep moving forward.